Well, okay, everybody, good morning. As I said, my name is Andrew Ottman. I'm Vice President of Marketing and Communications here at Middle Tennessee State University. We are so pleased and honored that so many of you have come out to see our friends and colleagues with the United States Navy's Flight Precision Team, the Blue Angels. They are en route. They should be here a couple of minutes. We've already gotten a high sign for them. They're navigating our parking. But we wanted to have we have a little opportunity here to talk to you about a few things. And we love a good crowd, and we love being able to spread some messages about Middle Tennessee State University and our aerospace program. And who best to start us off than the Dean of the College of Basic and Applied Sciences. That's the college where our Department of Aerospace is based. He's here to talk to you not only about aerospace, but all the great programs offered through that college. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the Dean, Dr. Greg Van Patten.
Thank you, Andrew. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to MTSU. We are so glad to have you here. I'm looking forward to seeing the Blue Angels very shortly myself. Normally, when you've got a big headliner act, you would have some nice warm-up acts to get you going, and Andrew has now experimented with putting the headliner first. Is that what we're doing this morning? And actually, it's hard to follow the young man with the transformer. That is such a cool airplane. I want to talk to you just a little bit about what we've got here at MTSU while I've got you captive. Our aerospace department, many of you may be familiar with our aerospace department. It's one of our signature departments here at MTSU. We have a large flight training program. It's one of the largest in the country. In fact, our aerospace department is our largest undergraduate major on campus. It's got about 1,300 majors, and almost 1,000 of those students are in flight training right now. They're going to go on and become professional pilots. So there are probably some of you in the audience who are very interested in that as a potential career. MTSU is a place where you can do that, and not only do that, but do it with a high level of success. And we have a fleet of about, I think right now we're at about 47, 48 aircraft. We've got a new aircraft coming on Monday. We don't fly the F-18 Super Hornet here at MTSU, but we do fly the DA-40, Diamond DA-40 aircraft, really nice training aircraft. We fly multi-engine aircraft, PA-44 Pipers. And on Monday, we're bringing a new aircraft into the fleet, something we haven't had before. It's from a maker here in Tennessee, the Cirrus SR-22. This is a high-performance airplane. It's a single engine, but it's made right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. We're going to pick it up on Monday. This is an aircraft that has a top speed over 200 knots. It's a very fast airplane, and it has a ceiling of about 25,000 feet, so it'll go really, really high, like a commercial aircraft. And it's got this really cool feature. It actually has a parachute on it. So we're going to have an airplane that has a parachute, and we are going to, it's our goal to never, ever, ever use that parachute on this airplane, but it is there, and it's a really cool safety feature that leads the industry. Now, aside from aerospace, you heard that I'm the dean of the college. We have many other programs here at MTSU that are important, and some of them attract a lot of attention. So in our college, aerospace is one of those. In some of the other colleges, you've got programs like animation and audio production also attract a lot of attention. But we've got over 100 programs here at MTSU, and within our college is the largest here at MTSU, we have agriculture. So we have several different majors in agriculture: animal science, pre-vet, horse science, plant and soil science, fermentation science, one of the first of its kind in the country, studying fermentation, which is an important biochemical process that they can preserve and modify foods, make them more nutritious and more valuable. We've got biology, another one of our large departments, chemistry, biochemistry, forensic science. Forensic science is another key program in our college. Computer science, data science, cybersecurity in our college. Lots and lots of options, and all of these options share a common characteristic that we value experiential learning. So aside from your work in the classroom at MTSU, just like with our aerospace department, you're going to spend a lot of time working outside the classroom and getting experience. We've got students in our chemistry and biochemistry and biology departments who are doing research. They are finding new things that nobody's ever known about cancer, different kinds of cancer, about different kinds of genetic diseases. We have a very strong quantum physics program here at MTSU. We actually have a new concentration, a new major in quantum physics, which is, again, the first of its kind anywhere. And that's led by Dr. Hannah Terlecka, she's one of our NSF National Science Foundation Career Award winners. So she's a very highly respected and noted expert in her field. Concrete and construction management. Saw some folks from that department. I can't fail to mention concrete and construction management. Concrete industry management and construction management yes, there they are. Is one of our biggest and fastest growing departments, not just in our college, but at the university. And you can imagine in this area, you want a job, these are areas where you can get big jobs in Nashville and in this area, and that'll continue to be the case. This major does not prepare you to go out and climb ladders and drive trucks. You will learn all of those things. You will learn how to mix concrete. You will learn the science behind how concrete works, and it's actually a really fascinating and complicated material. But you will also learn the business side of it, the engineering side of it, and so we're preparing people to become executives in this field. And you guys may know there's actually a pretty notable construction project going on in Nashville. I actually saw it just last night while I was up there at a big concert. They're building this big square building right next to Titan Stadium. It's the new Tennessee football stadium, and it's going to be huge. It's a $2 billion project, and the leaders of that project are companies that are led by MTSU graduates. So these are great fields to get into. We do a great job of them. And for those of you who are thinking about it and are the right age, there are some people I see here in the audience that are about the right age. It's actually not too late to apply to be at MTSU this coming fall. So if you are interested, I encourage you to come talk to me or go online and check out what the options are. That's about all I've got, Andrew, unless there are questions. But yeah, thank you very much. Have a good day, y'all, and enjoy the Blue Angels.
Thank you. Thank you. Dean Van Patten's got a great college, and we're very proud of all the things that are offered by the College of Basic and Applied Sciences. The marketing guy in me wants to remind everybody that in this room, you can help spread this message that it is not too late to apply for the fall term. If you're interested in coming to MTSU, go to mtsu.edu/apply. We'd like to show you now, we've got some friends with us from News 2 that are here to cover this event, but we want to show you a News 2 report that aired recently about the aerospace program to give you some context about the opportunities that are offered through the Department of Aerospace, so direct your attention to the screen.
News 2 has spent this week on tour in Rutherford County, highlighting unique people and places in that area.
Tonight, a program at Middle Tennessee State University is helping students reach new heights. News 2's Kenley Hargett gives you a look at the school's aerospace program.
Don't give up. If you're willing to put the work in and you're willing to study and take the time and put the effort in, it is possible.
MTSU senior Haley Harrison is close to fulfilling her dream as a professional pilot. She earned her private pilot's license in high school and then furthered her training at MTSU's aerospace program, earning the title of flight instructor.
I'm going to time build my 1,000 hours while I'm flight instructing, and then from there I hope to continue to our regional airlines and then to the major airlines.
Harrison's passion for flight is shared with more than 900 students, also in the university's professional pilot concentration. Plus, 400 students are learning other aerospace careers such as aviation management, maintenance management, flight dispatch, and unmanned aircraft systems technology. For decades, MTSU has helped thousands earn their wings.
I had a long history because we used to train World War II pilots back in the 1940s. And eventually in the 70s is when we created a degree program specific for aerospace.
Dr. Chaminda Prellis serves as chair of the Department of Aerospace. His goal is to prepare their students for all needs of aerospace.
If you look at the industry as a whole, there is a critical need for highly skilled, highly educated individuals in all these areas. Maintenance is another area that the salaries are very comparable to being a pilot. And there is as much of a need for skilled individuals that are certified by the FAA to work in those areas as much as they need pilots as well.
According to Boeing's Pilot and Technician Outlook for 2024 and 2043, 674,000 new pilots and 716,000 new maintenance technicians are needed for long-term demand over the next 20 years. This doesn't include other aerospace careers such as engineers and flight dispatchers. These high-demand careers also pay well, with the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics listing the median pay for airline and commercial pilots at $171,210 a year. Engineers are earning $136,000 a year, and flight dispatchers have a top salary of more than $100,000 a year. It's also a point to note that many students decide to stay in Middle Tennessee after college.
There's a trend that a vast majority of the students that come through the program want to live in or close to the Nashville and the Tennessee area. And some of them will commute. We've got a lot of Delta and Southwest Airlines pilots that live in Nashville, but maybe their hubs are in Dallas or in Atlanta.
MTSU will only continue to leave a bigger and bigger footprint on the aerospace industry and guide students into their lifelong careers. Reporting in Rutherford County, Kenley Hargett, News 2.
Well, I thank News 2 for that great report. One of the things that we're particularly proud of, we're so proud of many things with the aerospace program. We've mentioned partnerships, our partnership with Delta Airlines through a program called Propel, and Southwest Airlines through a program called Destination 225, literally allows those two airlines to go recruit our students while they're still pursuing their degree, some as early as the end of their sophomore year or the start of their junior year, where if they meet the qualifications and accepted in the program, they gain basically assurances that they will have a job immediately upon graduation and a fast track to get into the main pilot's chair for one of their big aircraft. So we're really proud of that. We're also proud of another program here at Middle Tennessee State University that one of the things that makes us very distinctive, and that is the Charlie and Hazel Daniels Veterans and Military Family Center. It is a very unique program, and we are so proud and honored that it was founded by retired Army Lieutenant General Keith Huber, who serves as our senior advisor for veterans and leadership initiatives. General Huber spent 38 years in the United States Army. He was the longest serving Green Beret in the Army upon his retirement. He spent a decade plus as a general officer in the United States Army. And now we are honored to have him on campus. And I'd like if General Huber could step forward, say a couple of words about the Daniels Center. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Lieutenant General Keith Huber.
Thank you. If you're a veteran, if you're a precious military family member, if you know veterans, if you run into veterans, if you run into military family members that have questions, that need assistance in understanding and accessing their earned VA benefits, I'm your action officer. Grab me by the throat. I will help you. Contact the Daniels Center. We will help you. Out of any group of veterans, normally less than 10% are retirees, having served 20 years or more, and therefore have retirement benefits. But every veteran, whether you serve 4 or 40 years, you've got VA benefits that you've earned, but the vast majority never apply for them. So you go, okay, why is that? Well, maybe one reason is you're unaware. So I spend a lot of time talking to businesses, talking to communities, talking to veterans and going, look, you got VA disability, which provides you a disability rating, which leads to a monthly tax-free check from the VA. You got VA health care, and you got VA cemetery benefits. So maybe you're unaware, so I keep people aware. Maybe you've tried to get access and you've gone, good Lord, the paperwork is just too daunting, it's too complex. Don't worry about it. We'll help you do the paperwork. But the majority of veterans never ask for their VA benefits because of the DNA of servant leadership that veterans have. We don't feel we're worthy. We don't feel the military owes us anything. It was a privilege to serve. I'm doing okay. We all have friends missing arms and legs. We all feel that we don't want to do anything to deprive or distract from people who need it more. There's plenty of benefits. You've earned it. And the only people you're depriving is yourself, and more importantly, your precious family members, because so many of the benefits are directly connected to the disability rating. So whether it's the 86-year-old that comes up to me and I always go, thank you for your service, how's the VA treating you? And he goes, oh, you whippersnapper, too much paperwork. I don't do any of that. But then he starts going, but you know, I got issues. I can't hear very well. I lost my hearing in 1952, and I can't afford the batteries for hearing aids, let alone the hearing aids. So I get him enrolled in the VA hospital here in Murfreesboro. He gets a hearing exam. Couple months later, he calls me. He goes, General, I got my hearing aids. They changed my life. But can you answer a question? I go, yes, sir. He goes, can you tell me why my wife's always yelling at me? And at that point in time, I realized I lost my courage because I wasn't about to tell him about how you control the volume. Because generals get blamed for everything. So I was absolutely convinced he was going to go, you know, dear, the general told me when you started talking, I should turn you down. We've got veterans of my generation that refuse to identify the trauma of combat and combat wounds. I just finished assisting a gentleman who was in Vietnam for 2.5 years, Silver Star recipient, 4 Bronze Stars, 3 Purple Hearts. Yet he refused to discuss the trauma associated with each of those combat wounds with the VA, because he goes, I don't want people to think I'm crazy. I don't want them to think I'm a danger. And I went to his home and sat with him and go, look, I got 5.5 years in combat. Combat changes all of us in different ways, but you shouldn't be ashamed. You have earned these benefits. Talk to them, be honest. You're depriving your family. And I'm proud to say that he did that, and now he's receiving 100% disability with a check that allows him to care for his wife and himself. You should never have to pay anybody to assist you with your VA benefits. And there's people and organizations that prey on our military. Do not allow that to happen. Come to me. You don't have to have any affiliation with this incredible university. You don't need to be a student. You don't need to be staff and faculty. You don't need to be an alumni. You don't need to buy a widget. You don't need to sign a document. If you need assistance, we're here to serve, and we'll be honored to serve you.
Ladies and gentlemen, General Huber. All right. I think it's time for us to start the show. And I'm very pleased and honored to welcome, let's have our major step forward here. He'll introduce our team. And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Blue Angels Navy Precision Flight Team, Major Josh Herman.
Thank you very much. Hey, good morning, Blue Raiders. My name is Josh Horman. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, and to my right is Michael Kissling. He's one of your hometown heroes from here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to come out and talk with you guys here for a couple minutes. Basically, I'll tell you a little bit about ourselves. Does anybody here know what kind of the mission of the Blue Angels is? So our mission is to showcase the teamwork and professionalism of the Navy and Marine Corps through flight demonstration and community outreach. Basically, in layman terms, that says we get to practice a lot, put on an awesome show, and then come out and hang out with you guys and promote the Navy and the Marine Corps. For me, I'm a Fat Albert pilot. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, and I've been here. This is my first year on the team. Fat Albert, we are going to transport 38,000 pounds of gear and 45 of my closest friends to and from 32 show sites every year. It's a great time. Mike is one of those dudes that gets to ride with us, and we have a great time. Like I said, I'm from Kansas City, and I've been in the Marine Corps for 15 years. Got to do a lot of cool things. Lived in eastern North Carolina for 4 years. Got to go out to Hawaii for a couple years, do a couple deployments, and then got to come be a part of the Blue Angels. We've got a little bit of a video to show you right now so you can kind of see what we do here at the Blue Angels, and then I'll give you a couple more points.
Ready, hit it. Take it in.
The Blue Angels, the United States Navy and Marine Corps' premier flight demonstration squadron. One cohesive team. We are steadfast in our mission to showcase the teamwork and professionalism of the United States Navy and Marine Corps by inspiring a culture of excellence and service to country through flight demonstrations and community outreach. Stationed at Naval Air Station Pensacola, Florida, the team performs flight demonstrations throughout the United States and around the world. Since 1946, the Blue Angels have brought naval aviation to men and women of all ages. They began flying the F-6F Hellcat and have since flown a variety of aircraft showcasing the capabilities of naval aviation through the decades. Today, our pilots fly the Boeing FA-18 Super Hornet, a multi-mission strike fighter, versions of which have been operational throughout the fleet since 2001. A typical week starts in Pensacola, where the team practices the flight demonstration, perfecting even the slightest details of each maneuver. By the end of the week, the Blue Angels are ready to head to their next show site. The maintenance and support team travel aboard the Marine Corps C-130J Super Hercules, affectionately known as Fat Albert. Flown by an all-Marine crew, the Blue Angels Super Hercules flies more than 100,000 miles each show season, carrying all of the maintenance and support personnel and equipment needed to perform each air show and performs tactical maneuvers as part of the flight demonstration. Upon arrival at each show, it's down to business for the whole team. The pilots practice for their upcoming performance, and the maintenance team prepares each aircraft for the show, ensuring they are in top-performing shape and completing any vital maintenance before the demonstration. On show day, the team arrives on the flight line and rev up the aircraft. The maintenance crew make their final checks on the jets, and the pilots prepare for the demonstration. It's showtime. Like a carefully practiced ballet, the maintainers and pilots move deliberately and in unison. Each movement is meticulously executed, from entering the cockpit and pulling and running the chocks that keep each airplane in place. Each team member of the Blue Angels knows their parts and performs them with pride. The pilots line their aircraft up on the tarmac for launch, and with a blast of smoke, they take to the skies. From the pilots to the maintainers, Each Blue Angel is hand-selected from the fleet, embodying hundreds of years of Navy and Marine Corps tradition and heritage, and a representation of the 800,000 men and women who serve and defend our nation each day. Teamwork and trust define the Blue Angels and are the most important aspect of the squadron. From the precise wingtip to canopy separation of the Delta to the upkeep of the jets, each team member relies on one another, and each Blue Angel strives for excellence in everything they do. With a final salute and a handshake, another Blue Angel show is complete, but our mission is far from over. One of the most rewarding aspects of being on the team is spending time visiting hospitals, schools, and community functions. Across the country, we take time to interact with young people and discuss the benefits of military service and share our enthusiasm for naval aviation, hoping to inspire others to pursue their own dreams and service in their communities. Our hope is that tomorrow's leaders will be encouraged and motivated by what they see in our performance and all the men and women who make up our team.
All right, what do we think? Pretty cool? First time I saw it probably 15 years ago, that's exactly what I thought. And I thought, hey, that's a team that I definitely want to be a part of. And so I started the path to get here. 15 years ago in Cherry Point when I was just a young first lieutenant flying an EA-6B Prowler. One of the things we're going to talk about is teamwork. Who here knows some of the good characteristics, good qualities of teamwork? Shout them out. Anybody got anyone? Trust, very good. Yep. Flexibility, also a good one. Communication, very good. Selflessness, I would say, is definitely another one. As members of the team, we all have to trust each other, not just the 6 F-18 pilots or the 3 C-130 pilots, but all 160 members of the team in general. So we've got 160 members, Navy, Marine Corps, and civilians that make up the team in general. And so we all have to put ourselves, we have to be selfless and put the team before us. And that's one of the, definitely the good things that make a team. So we do 120 practices in the winter training, and that basically puts us in. So we start, the Delta pilots start at a fleet average distance apart, and then they move into about 18 inches, which is where you're going to see. And it takes a lot of practice. All the maintainers, all the public affairs, all of the medical logistics, everybody that takes up the team, we all have to work together to achieve the flight demonstration that you see here. And it's not just one, or it takes all 160 of us to make that happen. All right, any other characteristics that we talked about? Selflessness, putting the team before you. Flexibility, obviously plans change. We all have to be very flexible. With weather, obviously weather might affect us this weekend, but we've got different ways to go around that. Next thing, who kind of knew what they wanted to be when they grew up? Everybody knew? So I went to college. I'm from Kansas City, and I went to college at a small Division II school. I thought I wanted to be a professional athlete and realized that that's not anywhere near of what I wanted to do. So I ended up joining the Marine Corps, had a lot of great mentors that pushed me in that path, and joined the Marine Corps, ended up flying planes, and then got to be a part of the Blue Angel team that we are now. So one of the things I'm going to put out there is, obviously we need to be a part of a team, aim high. When I was in college, I wanted to be a professional athlete and move that way, but that didn't make it. I still aimed high, and the Blue Angels is as high as I could go. So it's been a great gig. I would definitely encourage you to reach after your mentors, reach after you, stay in a good group of high-functioning individuals, and aim high. For the last thing, how many people in here have failed? Everybody. Most successful people have failed more times than you can count on either one of your hands. I know that I have. And so you miss 100% of your shots you don't take. That's one of Wayne Gretzky's greatest sayings. I don't know if it's his greatest saying, but that definitely says it. So I would say continue to, once you fall, get back up. I know I've fallen more times than I can count, but always getting back up. I'm going to turn it over to Mike here real quick. If you got a couple things to say, Mike.
Thanks, sir. Good morning, Murfreesboro. How are y'all doing? That's good. I want to say thank y'all for having me back here at home. If y'all didn't know, I'm actually from here. I went to Siegel High School over there. Went from Siegel High School, went over to MTSU right down here down the road. Was back here in 2008, 2010. That's when I attended MTSU. From there, kind of moved down to Florida, did a little bit of work, kind of lost my way on, hey, what I wanted to do in life. And then, what do you know, I joined the Navy. Found a good, challenge in life. When I did go to school here at MTSU, I was in the degree path for being a doctor in pre-med. Found out, hey, there's a lot of work behind that. I did have the work. At that time, I was young, didn't have really the work ethic that I wanted to. So, went on ahead, explored life, came back, joined the Navy, roundabout way, and now, hey, look, I'm here in Murfreesboro once again. Now I get to speak to all of y'all, which is great, and it's fantastic. I joined in 2015, went to Pensacola for school, and at that point in time, that was when I first saw the Blue Angels. And from there, I was like, at one point in time, want to make that team because they are the best of the best in the Navy and Marine Corps for flight demonstration and also flying. From my first command, I was actually out in Point Mugu, California, which is about an hour north of Los Angeles, where I worked on the E-2 Hawkeye, which is if you ever look at aircraft, it's the one that has a hat on top of it. So worked on that for a few years. Then I saw a message to come work for the Blue Angels, and I applied for the team, did my interview process with them, and they picked me up, and now here I am. I've now been on the team. This is my second year. I work in the Avionics Work Center, so I work on mission computers, navigation, communication, any kind of electronic flight controls for the pilots so then they can fly safely and do their demonstration. I actually have the great opportunity to work one of our working positions is mobile, and mobile is our lead troubleshooter on the road who's responsible to all of our maintenance control for any kind of maintenance actions we are performing. If we are helping the pilots troubleshoot while they are getting ready to take off and launch, and we are also that main center of communication for performing all the maintenance and ensuring that our jets are safe for the pilots to go out and fly. Because when you think about 18 inches, if you look at two of these blocks, it's about a block and a half of that. So they're flying relatively close, so we need to make sure that all of our systems are working how they're supposed to work. Being a part of the Blue Angels, especially over the past 2 years, has taught me that no matter how many times you do fail, there's always going to be somebody there who has your back, and they're actually willing to help you learn from the mistakes you have made. Last year, my first year on the team, of course, a lot of mistakes, so I learned from all those, and now it's my turn for everyone who comes behind me to teach them from what I have learned from the previous year. And I've learned a lot, I've taught a lot, and being in that position now, I guess you could say, has brought me to just show that, hey, it's all fun. Everything's fun. Everything will work. You just gotta see it through, know what you're doing, and just kind of go from there. By a show of hands, how many of y'all are thinking about going into the aviation field in college or anything like that? See, so it's quite a few of y'all. How many of y'all? Yeah, I like it, because trust me, aviation's fun. I love it. How many of y'all like working with computers as well? And, not as many hands, but getting to be in this position, I get the joy of working with planes. I get to work on them hands-on every single day. Me and my 4-man crew of aviation technicians that I work with now, it's just us 4 working on all of the mission computers and navigation things on our aircraft. So we learn, and we learn fast, and we learn a lot. And I definitely enjoy it. But yeah, our planes have both, hey, you get to work on a plane, and you get to work on a little bit of computers along with it as well. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back over to you.
We're going to take a couple questions now. If you've got avionics questions, he's your man. If you got,
Raise your hand, and we'll hand you a mic.
Hi there.
Hey.
Does avionics play any part in the precision of the separation or any of that, or is it all stick and rudder?
Yep, so it's all stick and rudder. They basically adjust the airplanes so that they are static, and they have resistance at those different locations.
Come on, folks. Questions. Here we go. You guys, and then I'll be up to you next.
We're in Kansas City.
So I'm actually from St. Joseph, Missouri, just north of Kansas City, but I went to Williams. Are you from St. Joe as well?
I'm actually from Kansas City, Kansas, so.
Okay, nice.
All right. Here we go.
Why do you call the big jet that carries all of your supplies Big Albert?
So Fat Albert, there was somebody's name from a character back in the day. That's where we got the name from. One of the flight engineers, his son liked the show, and when they got it in 1970 is when we first got Fat Albert on the team. And the current version we have, we got in 2020 from the UK.
Right.
Andrew.
You single?
That's no, we'll say. That's a complicated question, but great question. Thank you very much.
Got a question here?
Yeah, good morning. I appreciate you guys putting this on for us, so thank you. I watched you guys as a kid, Traverse City. You know, I've been there for 30 years, moved down here 10 years ago, but I remember seeing Fat Albert doing the JATO takeoff, the jet-assisted takeoff. I know we don't do that anymore. The thing I've been told by my dad is, well, they ran out of the rockets. They don't do it.
Yep, that's correct.
100%. All right, I'll let them know.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Yep, I believe they were Vietnam-era rockets, and there's a lot of, when you've got explosive that you have to put at different places, that adds another dimension. They ran out of the rockets, and it was just too logistically challenging, so we don't do them anymore. But the current C-130J has enough thrust to get pretty close to what the JATO rockets had. Who's next?
Do you ever use Morse code in the Blue Angels?
Did you say Morse code? I don't think we do a lot of Morse code anymore. That's a great question. I'll talk to him about maybe bringing it back if we need to.
Do y'all only fly for like show, or do y'all actually get called up for combat?
So with the Blue Angels, we either have 2 or 3 year orders. Our mission is to promote the Navy and Marine Corps around the United States. So the only it's not really out of country, but the only OCONUS shows we are doing are in Hawaii and Alaska. But we are from the fleet, and we'll go back to the fleet. So when we get done with our time here, we will go back. Most of us will go back to flying and fixing gray airplanes.
What is your favorite part about flying the F-18?
So I fly Fat Albert, the C-130J, but basically the low altitude, high performance climb is pretty fun. And if you get an opportunity to ride in the back, they enjoy it as well.
How are the F-18s modified for the performances that you guys do, if there's any modifications at all?
All of the tactical stuff is taken off. So the stuff that you're going to do when you go into country, that's basically how they're changed. Do you got anything else?
Yeah, so they do go ahead, take out a lot of the systems that are normally in our fleet jets, and then we do add the different paint schemes, so the blue and yellow that's on there. We also have stopwatches in the cockpit along with the smoke system, so then we can actually see and we can actually put the smoke tanks into the jets as well.
With the proximity of
Thanks, Michael.
With the proximity of 18 inches with your flight, what kind of precision do you practice landside before you get in the air?
So
like the hours and things.
So great question. During our winter training in El Centro, we'll do 120 practices. That's give or take a couple, but that's where we're going to, over the 2.5-month period, we're going to knock out 2 to 3 practices every day, 6 days a week, Sundays off, where they're going to work on that out in El Centro.
What avionics do you have in the Fat Albert and Super Hornets? Like the package?
So we've got 4 ARC 164s and 1 ARC 210. Is that the avionics you're asking? Yep, so we've got 4 ARC 164 radios and 1 ARC 210.
And the F-18, we have only two radio antennas. We got our two radio RTs, or radio transmitters. We do have two mission computers. We have some flight control computers in there as well. We also have GPS, so then they know exactly where they're going via an integrated navigation system, or INS as well. And we got plenty of displays up in the front so they can watch all of their indications and everything as well.
What is the hardest thing in the Blue Angels?
I like your flight suit, by the way. Looks great. There's not a lot of hard things. Obviously, we do 32 show sites back to back to back, so it can be very time-consuming. Being away from your families is difficult for a lot of people. But we get to hang out with awesome people all the time. We get to go do a cool mission, so I enjoy the most of it. But being away from home can definitely be difficult sometimes, even though it is a good gig. Thank you.
Do you refill gas in the air?
Yes, we do refill gas in the air, but Fat Albert doesn't. So we have the AR pods, the aerial refueling pods have been removed on Fat Albert. So we do not do that. But most of the time, C-130s, KC-130s do. We're just a C-130J.
Sir, would you say there's any lesson you think you've learned on this team that's very different from an active duty squadron that you would definitely take back with you? My personal learning is trying to be just brilliance in the basics, doing everything right all the time, whereas in an active duty squadron stuff can potentially get overlooked, but we try to do everything. The details really matter here. That's why we spend a lot of time briefing and debriefing and making sure the precision is perfect. It's more precise than a normal squadron.
What model of aircraft is the Fat Albert, and also what's modified from it from a normal aircraft?
So it's a C-130J. Basically, the K is the refueling pods, and those are removed. There's a couple. There's the LAIRCM is removed. There's all of the mission-specific stuff that when you go over to other countries, all that's removed. But that's really the biggest thing. There's a couple. Yeah, those are the biggest things. It's pretty similar to a KC-130.
How did the Blue Angels start?
So we started in 1946. Next year will be our 80th anniversary. So right in line with the 250th for the Navy and Marine Corps will be our 80th anniversary. And they've flown a variety of different aircraft over the past 80 years.
They use Mississippis or potatoes to take off.
They definitely do Mississippis and potatoes. They do both of them, but different people have different techniques. But Boss is going to run the cadence in whatever Boss does if he's going to do Mississippis or potatoes.
I overheard some Air Force pilots in Knoxville. They were doing a show at a football game, and they were counting by potatoes.
Oh.
So that's how that came up. Sounds like you guys have stopwatches, though. That's sophisticated.
It's pretty exact. And a lot of practice gets the timing down pretty well.
Hello? How do you know how many G-forces you can pull before you pass out? And what kind of suit do you wear?
So we do the centrifuge training. It used to be in Lemoore, now it's in San Antonio. Every new member of the team goes out and does centrifuge training. The pitch-up break is normally where we're going to use the most G-forces, and it's normally 7 to 7.5 Gs. And so then they practice that once a year. Everybody goes and gets requalled at the centrifuge, but normally 7.5. 7.5 is more than I can take.
In your personal, unbiased opinion, do you think the Blue Angel pilots are more talented or Top Gun pilots?
So we have Top Gun pilots that are on the Blue Angels. So you can go through Top Gun and go to the Blue Angels. It's just a different mission set. So the Blue Angels were doing flight demonstration, aerobatics, whereas Top Gun is training for a future fight, a more tactical mission.
I was watching your practice yesterday over in Smyrna, and I was just wondering, does flying ever get tiring to you? It always looks so exciting just watching.
Never. It's awesome. It's an awesome gig every single time.
What would you say has been the most rewarding part of not only being in the Blue Angels, but the Marine Corps as well?
Obviously interacting with all the awesome people that I get not only on the team, but here with you guys. That's definitely extremely rewarding, and doing all the commits and stuff we do in the evenings after the shows.
Can you give us an idea when you all fly in
for a show like Smyrna? Does the entire crew get there at the same time, or would the maintenance crew and Fat Albert get here days ahead, and then the pilots of the Blue Angels come in with their jets later on in the week?
That's a great question. So normally we have our number 7 is our narrator, is going to get the day before, and he's going to have a number 7 crew chief, and they're going to start the setup process. Then Fat Albert, with 45 of my closest friends. Yeah, I guess, all right, let's call it. I'm joking. We will normally land at 9 o'clock, and then the jets will get in at 10 o'clock. So we'll have everything set up prior to them arriving, and then we can kick it.
I have 2 questions. So how do planes interact, because they're so close with the wake turbulence, so close to each other?
Practice 120 practices that they basically bring it in, and you learn to do it pretty well. It's definitely difficult.
Yeah. Do you guys see like individual people while you're flying? Because one time I looked up and it looked like the Blue Angel looked at me and did a trick just for me.
Yep, he definitely did. He saw you and waved.
What is the typical length of career for a Blue Angel pilot?
Right now, we're a pretty senior crew. We've got a couple commanders. We've got one captain, and boss is going to be a captain here before too long. And then we've got a couple, 3, 4 Marine majors. So most people are going to make a career. We want career-minded individuals that are going to be a part of for 20 years in the Navy and the Marine Corps.
How long will they actually fly, though?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's about 3 years for the C-130 pilots, depending on what position you're going to get. As a F-18, it's going to be either 2 or 3 years, and it's normally 3 years for the maintainers, unless they can sign up for a 4th year if we need it. So.
Okay, thanks.
What physical training do you do in the winter?
We do a lot of cardio, a lot of weightlifting. We all try to get in the 1,000-pound club. Lots of that, lots of training.
Hi, sir. After your initial selection, getting your commission, what was the selection process like for the Blue Angels?
So if you're going to rush the team, which, Mike, do you want to talk about this one a little bit?
All right, so at least for the enlisted side, there's a message that always comes out, and you go forth and you put in a package to say, hey, I'm interested in joining your team. And then at that point, we have a whole interview process for a week where we're out there with the team, we're interacting with the team, helping them with their maintenance and just getting to know everyone on the team. And then at that point, basically if you pass the interview and the team likes you, they'll give you a call and say, hey, you're coming out to join the team in October for the enlisted side of that.
Yep, perfect. And basically the same thing. We're going to put in an application, and we're going to go to 2 or 3 shows and interact with the team and go to the different functions and see how the team is and make sure that we want to be a part of the team because it's a very grueling schedule to do everything, and that's something that us and our families want to be a part of.
What's the main reason that the flight suits are different for the Blue Angels?
Recruiting? I don't know. So they've been this way for a long time. That's basically, I would say, want them to stand out and be a part of a symbol.
Specifically for the G-Force, like the regular flight suits.
Oh, we don't use G-suits. That's why we just have the best F-18 pilots in the world. They don't use G-suits, and they're going to pull more Gs than they can.
What chemicals do you use to make the smoke?
All right, so our smoke oil is a paraffin-based smoke oil, so it's actually environmentally friendly. It's just out there, and then it will disintegrate in the air and just go away like nothing.
Hi, I'm from Pensacola, so I just want you to tell everybody how great Pensacola is.
Pensacola is great. It's a great spot. It's blown up. A lot of great restaurants. The best beaches in the world, I would say, in Pensacola. So yeah, come visit. Do you want people to come visit? Okay, come down and visit. It's a great spot.
How fast does Fat Albert fly?
So we're normally flying 260 knots, which is about 320 miles per hour when we're doing the parade passes.
Why do you fly so close together?
because it's very difficult, and you want to showcase the precision of the pilots and the team.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of women on the crew, but how often is there a 1 through 7 woman pilot?
So Amanda Lee was the Lieutenant Commander. Amanda Lee was the first 1 through 7 pilot, and she did her 2 years, and she's no longer on the team. I'm sure that we will have other female pilots in the future.
I'd like to follow up on the Pensacola question because I really love Shrimp Basket. You do a lot of shows, but I think the best one I've ever seen is at the beach. What is different doing that show for the city of Pensacola over the water as opposed to at a land-based airfield?
So we really, great question. We really enjoyed the beach shows. That's where we do kind of remote procedures, and obviously the city of Pensacola does a great job of taking care of us. So we want to put on a good show every time we do our home shows in the summer and then coming back home.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by the light gun. Tell me how that
how did you?
The light gun?
The light gun. Yeah.
So during our 120 practices that we do throughout the year, we basically train to, hey, this is where we're going to go, and we've got 2 to 3 individuals that are running the light guns and making sure that we're all online.
And does everybody use that? I mean, do all the pilots look for that, or just certain ones, or?
So during certain maneuvers, you're going to get certain guns, so you know which maneuver. So for us, it's the head-on. As we're coming out of the head-on from the flat pass, Fat Albert, we're going to find, and that helps us line up with our center point.
And I notice there's different colors. Does that mean anything?
No, it's normally just dark red.
Okay, thank you.
Right behind you.
How do you learn? Can you tell us how you learned to be a pilot?
So you go to flight school for a year, 2 years for some pilots, and you're going to go through either Pensacola or Corpus, and then for the F-18 guys, they're going to go through either Kingsville or Meridian before going to one of the FRSs.
So the F-18 uses a fly-by-wire flight control system, right?
Yes, they are doing fly-by-wire now. They do still have linkages that deal with some of their controls, and then along with that, we also have a stick spring. So if y'all were all wondering on how they stay closer together, we have a stick spring that's in the cockpit for all the pilots, and it has about 35 pounds worth of pressure on it, so then they can keep the stick steady whenever they're doing their maneuvers.
Thanks, Mike.
Do you and the Thunderbirds have competition?
The Thunderbirds are great pilots. They came to our homecoming show last year, and there are some things that they are better. They are extremely good. And there's some things that we are extremely good. So I don't know if we have a competition. We're both very busy during our show seasons, and it's always a big show when we get to go there together.
How high can Fat Albert fly?
So normally about 30,000 feet is about as high as we can get. We could potentially get a little bit higher, but the jets can fly up to about 50,000 feet, so they can get a little bit higher than us.
So obviously there's a lot of ways to get into naval aviation. I'd say the most common is probably the academy, but there's also the OCS program. How effective is that for getting into a fighter spot in the Navy?
I would say probably 50% of the guys in the Ready Room, or guys and gals in the Ready Room, are Naval Academy grads, and 50% went through OCS or ROTC. So it's, I mean, either one works. Obviously, when you get in, work hard, get the hours, excel in your squadron, and then you can put in an application.
Sure, right over there. How much engagement do you guys have with the Civil Engineering Corps in the Navy, and what do you do with them?
I have zero engagement with the Civil Engineering Corps. Mike, do you have any?
Might have a little bit when it comes to dealing with some maintenance actions we're not able to perform, and they have to actually go to a higher level. So if we have, say, like a hole in a wing that we can't fix ourselves, we'll call them in and they'll come out and help us out.
Okay, I think we're down to the last couple of questions because I know we've got some scouts and Civil Air Patrol cadets that would like to get a photo taken, and maybe a few y'all as well. So we're looking for last one or two questions. We got one.
Do you like your job?
It's the best job in the world. Best job I could have. Love it.
Because it kind of looks funny.
Looks funny? Yeah, sometimes some jobs do look funny, I would say that, but I definitely really enjoy it.
What happens when the Hornet retires or the Super Hornet retires?
That's a great question. I think the Super Hornet will be around here for a long time, and I think I'll let Boss and the Admirals decide what they are going to fly. So I think as long as I'm in the Navy and Marine Corps, we're going to be flying the Super Hornet, but I'm sure that they will be looking at other options in the future. Thank you.
Kind of a two-parter. I was watching you guys yesterday. Can you explain how the sound comes after you guys pass over? It's so much louder after you guys on the ground. And then also, why would you guys do this? I watched you guys. It's pretty shocking. What does your body go through, and what makes you want to do such extreme stunts?
So Boeing designed the airplane so that it would be quiet for the sneak pass coming in and then be loud afterwards. So that's a Boeing design, tactical for that. And I mean, it's been a great gig for me. I enjoy the thrill rush, I guess. I'm sure everybody, it's probably the same for everybody else. Thanks.
Hey, former aviation machinist, mate. One question I had is, it's more for you. Do the C-130s, do they have mill stops in them? And if so, how often do y'all push past mill stops on y'all's demonstrations?
So I think the mill stops are not in the J. So no, we don't do that. We obviously have max continuous, and then you've got
one question here.
So we don't ever push past the limits.
Why do you like being a Blue Angel pilot?
Right here, sir.
Because I wanted to be a part of the best team, and I wanted to make an impact on different people. So I got to come out and here hang out with you guys today. Thanks. All right, I think we got last one, and then we'll do
this last one.
Have you ever taken off on aircraft carrier?
So I've been in the back seat of a Prowler when it took off from the aircraft carrier, but I've not been at the controls taken off from an aircraft carrier. Some of the F-18 pilots, basically all of them, will be able to answer yes on that, but I cannot. Sorry.
All right, everybody, let's give them a round of applause. They've taken some great questions.
We got a litho for you.
Very good. All right. Well, obviously, it's a thrill having both of you on campus and having everybody here to join and welcome you. The Great Tennessee Air Show is set for the Smyrna Airport Saturday and Sunday. We're knocking on wood, making sure the weather's going to be right, Major?
Yep. Saturday and Sunday we're performing at 14:30, and we got moved up 30 minutes, so we will be out there. Hopefully the weather always gets a vote, but hopefully it goes our way this weekend.
Well, we deeply appreciate the outreach that you guys have done every year, and including Middle Tennessee State University is one of your stops. It means a lot to our students and the community here in Murfreesboro, and bringing somebody from Siegel High School. Let's give it up for our Siegel High School guy. All right.
Nope. Thank you for, obviously we're going to present a litho here, and we'll take a picture with that. But thank you for letting us come out here and spend some time with you. We'll be around to answer some questions, and we've got some products if you guys want some pamphlets.
Fantastic.
We'll see you all tomorrow and Sunday at 14:30.
All right.